All right, folks, get ready. It's another fan favorite. It's a Keen episode.
Oh, nice. I'm really excited to talk about that escalation protocol boss, Soaring Keen.
No. Not the wizard. No, not from round 2. I'm talking Keen episode, man.
Like Keen Scout? Like the Night Stalker perk?
No, not at all. Keen.
It's a good perk. You see through walls.
It's my episode, guys. My episode. You guys can leave. It's fine.
Hey, Keen?
Yeah.
Why don't you shut up right now, all right?
This is the intro. Be quiet. This is our time.
Sorry.
Our time.
Our time.
Guest host does not mean intro host.
Crucible Radio. The hosts.
Be gone! Welcome everybody to another episode of Crucible Radio, the show for all things Destiny 2 PvP. Unlike last week, this is very much not a filler episode to kill time until Warmind. This is...
What's the opposite of a filler episode? Like, we got too many things.
Yeah, a really good episode. As you heard in the intro, we thought he'd be a guest, and then I realized I didn't want to say anything and have him immediately contradict me in the interview, so we're just bringing him on as a guest host. It's the one and only Keen Koala. Welcome back.
Hey, Keen.
How's it going?
Keen.
The keenest of koalas.
Is it true that Keen Koala is short for King and Queen Koala?
King of Queens Koala?
No. It's not short for anything. Although I've been called a variety of really random things, including today. I was called King Cola. That was an entertaining one. King Claw is a popular one. This is
sure.
I like King Koala. That's good.
Nobody can ever call out my name in the game right.
We're gonna get right to it this week. Warmind is out, and under normal circumstances we have lives, but not this week. No, this week we are no life in it and enjoying everything Warmind has to offer. And somehow we've made it, we're recording on Saturday, we've made it, 4 days, 5 days at this point, and there's still stuff to do.
I'm uncomfortable with how long I've been in my desk chair today playing Destiny.
It's worrying. Yeah, it's worrying.
Yeah, we've done it all. We've done, we tested out the ranking system. We obviously played through a pretty short but pretty sweet story. There's been so much to do on Mars. There's this huge new patrol area, which is really full of stuff.
Don't you have to apologize publicly to
yes.
someone?
Oh, yeah. So another thing we did, we'll get to the Crucible, but we did some escalation protocol and it was awesome. We got 9 people in the public space and we made it to level 6, which I don't think any of us expected to do.
I couldn't even do damage.
Yeah, right. We're completely out leveled, but
so Bonesy, if our listeners would like to get together with 8 of their closest friends and play escalation protocol, what's the procedure for doing that?
Well, basically, you just have to do a little social interaction, and someone goes to the space. They show up. You message someone else. This is obviously easier on PC with local chat and everything, but you can message people on PSN and you have them, a kind stranger, invite your friend to their fire team and then give that friend fire team leader. Now they are in the same space, but sort of control their own fire team. You get 3 of those, 2 friends each, and there you got 9. I have to give a special shout out to a PC player by the name of Desperado, who I thought Birds had fully explained what was going to happen.
There's just no nice way to.
I booted him from the fire team and from Mars entirely after he invited me, and then I found out that I don't know if Birds fully explained that to him. So Desperado, if you're out there, I hope you got some good loot that day, and if you're ever in Hella Spacin', let's do some escalation protocol together.
Just
and
make
sorry for kicking you out.
Did you even friend him, or did you just send him on his way?
No, he friended me, and then I booted him. So we might still be friends.
Oh God.
Yeah.
I'll have to send him a message.
Anyways, nice guy,
So
real nice guy.
week.
Appreciate it. But that escalation protocol, that's pretty fun. It took us a minute to kind of figure out the strategy, but when we got to 6, we had 9 people. 7 or maybe 8 of them were all running Aeon, and We had Bonesy with the Void Walker overcharging those grenades, which does an obscene amount of damage with the scatter grenade. And yeah, it was just really a comical number of orbs, like really a surprising number of orbs and heavy ammo bricks everywhere.
Yeah, I think the strategy is mostly like don't die and use all the orbs that come from you not dying.
Yep.
It was
pro tip right
It was
there.
definitely hell on my PC, being a potato PC and just all this giant light show everywhere.
The particle effects really going nuts.
I don't feel so good, Bones.
Oh, God.
My PC doesn't feel so good.
So, I mean, there's just a ton of PvE. I don't think, but maybe between us, we've all taken a crack at it all. I don't think any of us has done all of the non-PvP stuff there is to do. Whether you're chasing down parts or you're playing Escalation Protocol or you're playing the new raid layer. Bonesy, you gotta run in.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, so Friday was awesome because Friday I sort of thought I'd have to stay off the internet because someone would complete it and post pictures and stuff like that. Turns out that didn't happen for hours, and only something like 20 teams even finished it on Friday. So this power level change really, really adjusts that, which I think is cool. And it was pretty crazy realizing like it's been almost my whole shift at work and no one's completed it. So we went in blind today, Saturday, but knowing that we weren't super like worried about finishing the last part. So the first part is a sort of, that sort of arena mechanic scenario, and we figured it out ourselves, completed it. It's pretty tough, but it was really, really fun. And then you get to the jumping puzzle, and we spent the time looking for secrets and trying to figure that out, which was really, really cool. It's, again, a really, really cool experience. I think the new mechanic, you sort of get this overcharge ball. And of course, holding a charge is not uncommon to Destiny 2, but this one you can throw to your teammates, and it's got basically a ton of aim assists. You can sort of catch it instantly. And you basically have like this fastball move. You can just throw this charge to your teammates, and it's the most fun mechanic I've ever seen. So we got to the end room and we're like, all right, we get it. We're not going to beat this. So it was worth it, and it was really fun.
Cool. Ah, man, I need to get my power up, which might mean playing a raid at some point. It's got to happen.
Or several.
Yeah, the grind's weird. I got so many legs, and it's like back to that feeling of just like, I want this engram to drop with something useful. So it's in the spot that I'm missing, but it is definitely instantly addicting again, which I'm almost like not happy about. That you just want to grind and you want to get stuff and you want to get new shaders. And I put a lot of work into getting the chest piece from the Warlock from Anna Bray, and that's like my new favorite piece of gear. So it's been fun to have something to chase for sure.
Well, you got that new shader on it. I spent like a good 20 minutes or so deliberating on shader for my new my new Warlock setup. Couldn't decide, and so I went for something ridiculous. And I haven't played it since.
Well, something we really want to talk about, which is a huge part of this grind. Are we ready to jump into this sort of topic?
Let's go.
But like, this is truly, truly some cool end game stuff. And that is not only is there a new masterwork mechanic, but you've got to grind and find the catalysts for exotic weapons. And as you all know, one of the big appeals for May 8th was not only new story, new content, new raid, new space, but like the exotic weapon tuning patch. And that's pretty crazy. Adds a lot of variation to the Crucible. But with that came a chance to masterwork the exotics for the first time. But they're not all in the game right now, and they're not all. You can't just throw some shards on it and pick what you want. So people have been really, really grinding to get those catalysts to drop. Some of them are easy, some of them are rare, and they make these guns, which are already crazy now, do some really awesome things. So it's definitely the true end game in terms of PvP right now. So that when you go into ranked and you're going to grind glory, you have the best, most wildest weapons in your arsenal. And there's some cool options so far.
Yo, Bones, I'm going to let you finish, but did you want to talk about comp or legendaries or anything first before we go down this mega list?
Yeah, that's the thing. Is like we did play a lot today, but it's like a weird zone. I played on the first or second day. Keen, we were on a fire team, and it's sort of like you play against anyone because your rank hasn't really evened out. There's no placement matches. So it was a lot of just like, I don't really know if that game was a good representation of what I should expect or what. And so it's still settling, and that's definitely something that will settle down over time. Also, I haven't played any of the new maps, like except for like twice. I don't see them.
Yeah, it's definitely fun to play the new maps. It is less fun to play them for the first time in a comp match. When you don't quite know what to expect. That was exciting. But I don't know. We got Keen Koala here. Keen, you've been playing a little bit of comp, right? You know a thing or two about this. What do you think? Early take.
Early take of comp or glory? I guess I have both takes.
Okay, let's do glory first.
I think glory is a great thing. I think it's actually brought a lot of players into both the comp playlist and just on PC especially. More players are definitely playing the game.
And just so you can remember, glory is the competitive one, and it stands for get good. G for get good.
And
that's
Valor
right.
is the quick play one, and it stands for a lot of relaxation.
It definitely stands for quick play vacay. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Oh, there you go. There you go. I'll say like even the Valor is nice just to be like happy playing quick play, and just as you're doing it, just watching a number slowly go up. It just, I don't know why it makes a difference.
It's so satisfying.
Kind of nice. It's kind of nice. It makes it feel like it counts for something. And even if that's kind of all it is, like goes up a little bit more, a little bit less or whatever, but still it's nice.
I do like the streaking system in both playlists.
Yeah.
Because ideally I've played on a lot of ladders over my gaming career, I guess. The one I've been best at was the League of Legends ladder back when it first came out. But basically in any competitive anything, you really want to maintain like a 60% win rate. And with streaking, that's really good because you can streak win rates and kind of get bumped up pretty high. So, and all these people that, especially the people that already have Redrixes that have these absurd win rates because they force stacked with like some really good players and they just kind of rolled over the competition. I think it's very realistic for anyone that's serious about the Crucible to get rank 3 for their Redrix. I don't think it's, with the streaking system, I don't think it's that hard.
Yep. Well, I like also how glory is predictable, like compared to something like SR and Overwatch, where it's like the match ends and you find out how many points that one turned out. And like usually have a guess, but just to have it be more predictable, to be able to like sort of do the math in your head, like, okay, this streak, and have some expectation for how it's going to go. Like you're not getting 13 or anything like that. It's nice. I don't need a real complicated system. I don't need to be like figuring out my LO calculation or something. Just tell me I went up 10. That's perfect.
Yeah, that's another thing too. Is just having that in-game measure is just like, we don't have to talk about third-party websites and gauge our skill. We all sort of really have a sense of it, and it's just like, you want to start bragging about the number next to your name, put the work in. So I like having something to really grind for over time.
All right. Well, that was glory. Keen, what do you think about the comp playlist? And just like, hey, comp is, I was going to say comp is back. Comp is now even here in the first place. It's now relevant.
I've always loved the comp playlist. I really like survival. I know a lot of people don't for whatever reason, but I really like it. I'm not a huge fan of Countdown, but it's a very interesting objective game mode. So it definitely has that going for it. Overall, like, I think having ranked play in conjunction with Inferno, there's just something about that really is hard for a lot of players that I've noticed, and myself included, because I mean, the normal game is not played without radar. So there's a lot of these weird habits that you have with radar. So like crouch baiting or like jump baiting, all these things that you can do with the radar that no longer matter with Inferno. And so a lot of the gameplay comes down to more Twitch style mechanics or really, really good positioning and movement, like even more so than with the radar. And I think a lot of players are finding that that's a big struggle. Like you might have a good shot, but if you didn't give yourself a chance to get that shot off first in the first place, like no matter how good you are, it's not going to matter. You're just going to die too quickly.
I have to say, I really like the no radar. I didn't know like in the comp playlist format, if that was going to do it for me. I feel I like it. I feel like it does. There's kind of an advantage to it as well that is kind of anti-twitchy in a way, in that it's not about just who is constantly reading their radar the best and sort of sliding around corners predicting. I mean, certainly there is that, but it's much more of just like, okay, I know what I would do if I were in their shoes, but they're a little bit better than me, so they're going to do something else. They're probably going here. Let's go check it out. And then just like things like waiting to see what people do and having that be the first point of contact without any sort of like, well, I can see 2 or 3 on the radar, I guess it's going to be a fight time. Also just like hiding around corners and juking and sneaking up on people. Like there's nothing like nothing like having your power weapon out and then realizing that you're just standing directly behind someone. And you're like, yeah, no, this is not necessary. I can just shoot him. He has no idea I'm here.
I played a bunch of comp before this season ended, right before Warmind came out, so that I can get the ornament for the Crucible helmet. And it was a ton of fun. And now I'm excited that there's another layer of incentive for people to stick around, because you don't want to lose your streak or whatever you have going. So
yeah, I haven't noticed very many people quitting.
Yeah. That's exciting, because I got stuck in a comp match where I didn't leave, and I had to sit through like all of the rounds of countdown.
Yeah, you can have it.
I do know that without radar, there's a lot of interesting things that you can do as a team and as an individual. I know a big complaint from the community has been like you can't do anything on your own. And not having a radar and not having like footstep style audio cues really lets you get off flanks really easily. So like for a solo player, especially like myself that enjoys that play style, it's a lot more effective now. Like I've snuck up behind teams, and I played a little bit of Trials today on the new map Solitude, and I've snuck up behind teams with like Jade Rabbit and just got 2 or 3 people down by myself because I was pecking at them from a flank, but they just weren't watching. And then as far as team play goes, like teams can set up really good crossfire angles. I know Fizzer back in D1 would talk about these really good setups. I think probably the most famous one he had was Rusted Lands, where he would say like, if you're on B on the map, that's the edge of the map for your team. You don't go past B, and you just kind of look at the lanes where the enemy is going to push. And in survival, it's similar, where you can play the power ammo line and then hold your side of the map. And then on countdown, you always know that they have to push up. If you're on defense, the enemy team has to push up in order to plant. So there's only a certain number of lanes you actually have to look at. And so that sort of like strategy is set up a lot better without a radar, because if you're pushing and you just see a bunch of pings on radar, you might not push there anymore. Whereas without radar, you're probably going to have to push as a team and coordinate these timed strikes and be like, well, here's this predictable spot this person is sitting at, and you all got to look at there as you push. And I definitely think that the ranked play encourages a lot of that kind of teamwork if you're not a flanker.
Mm-hmm. It's a very funny imbalance, and I know that the feedback is not just from one person, and there's a variety of voices in it, but there's this common sentiments of, we want radar because being flanked, there's no sound. We need to hear things. It's unfair because we can't hear, and if we could hear, we would not get flanked so easily. But we also definitely do want the ability to flank. We want, be able to swing behind and beat somebody and do enough damage and blah, 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 blah. And it's just like, there's only so many ways to flank if you've got sound effects or radar and no sound effects and stuff. So I think there's just like, we've talked about this before, but there's like 60 other factors that can go into telling you where an opponent might be before footsteps. And if you're truly in a spot where footsteps is the one thing that might save you, you probably put yourself in a bad spot. You are out of position, or you're missing a bunch of other cues. So I think there's so much to do before that to really make sure you're in the right spot. And there can be improvements to it too. And Bungie is obviously looking at that. There's comments from Yanez and and everyone on Twitter already about, yeah, we want to keep working on this. So it's not this or nothing.
Plus, like when you flank, your team is always at a disadvantage numbers wise. Like the flanker is always 1v4 and the rest of your teammates are always 3v4. So all the enemy team has to do if they get flanked is commit to a side. You either commit to the flanker or you commit to the team fight. And you have a much better chance doing that.
Bonesy, you said this a couple times today about like the sides of a circle or something like that. What was that thing?
Yeah. So that's the thing. That's the thing is that I'm just defending no radar now because obviously people know it's my favorite. But the amount of problems that we ran into grinding comp today, we played for like 2 hours. We won a lot of games, right? But when we lost, they were all problems that we could identify as things we were doing wrong that would have been wrong with a radar. It was just the strategies we chose and the movement and the decision making. It wasn't just, oh, we would have won that game had a radar existed. And one of the biggest ones is in Countdown. And Countdown is there's a very common situation where you push to one side and the enemy pushes to the other side because there's two places to go. It's 50-50. And what happens is if you go to one and they go to the other, you're running in a circle. So it's two teams moving clockwise, for example. If there are two groups running in a circle the same direction, which team catches up to the other one?
Probably not the one that stops in one place and kind of stares at each other.
So the team that goes to the halfway point or kind of up to the point and they're peeking and they just all stop is going to get hit in the back by the team that keeps pushing through when they didn't see enemies at the halfway point on their side. And that happens. That happened in the first week of Eternity on Trials all the time. And when we pushed up to Temple and we set the point, we all sort of set up way behind the point because we kept, following that circle path. We were able to have enough space. We gained map control and turn around and get that team that's following us from back. But there's plenty of times with no radar or radar where you get halfway there and you're kind of peeking stuff. You don't know what to do and you don't make enough decisions and you stop and that team just catches up with you from behind. And that happened to us too. And it's universal.
Yeah. I mean, this is a Keen Koala episode, so I'll just say it for him. Do what Keen does and move really fucking fast. Just so impossibly fast that it's difficult to keep up with.
Exactly.
Stay moving, get in position. Hey, let's talk about gear, right?
Yeah.
This is the meat of this episode. And we got to talk about these exotics, but there are some interesting legendaries going around that we should at least mention. I mean, certainly we're going to have a lot more to talk about legendaries and comp play and no radar and all that in the future. But a couple stand out. This one I'm going to butcher the name of. And for each of these, we just want to get them on the radar, right? Up first, we've got a Braytech scout rifle. This is the Niflheim Frost.
Yeah.
Who got this?
Swain is a fan of this one.
It's like, it's so close to being the Mida archetype that it just kind of feels similar. It's got the same exact scope with the little like carrot on it as well. So it feels just like it, and it has the option of kill clip or opening shot. And I kind of like opening shot a little bit more for the scout rifle because it's easier to get that first shot off and continue getting headshots once you get, locked on. So I really like that one, and I've been using it when I want to run like a exotic in my other slots.
Is it a kinetic or an energy?
It's a kinetic.
Oh, okay.
Kinetic Scout. All right, up next. This one is one we've been lusting after for a minute. This is 18 Kelvin. Who got it?
I do.
I have that one too.
I was going to make fun of you for just playing PV and grinding for gear all week, but I kind of, I get it. I'm a little jealous now. Okay. What is this thing? Tell me about this gun that I want.
I'll let Keen do it because he has more stats than me.
Oh, okay. Well, the 18 Kelvin is a 300 RPM sidearm in your energy slot. So that means it does 38 to the head, and I want to say 26 to the body. Let me pull up my spreadsheet real quick. I should have had this. 29 to the body. But kill clip actually gives it a ridiculously high damage. It should hit 50 to the head and 38 to the body. So if you can hit 4 headshots in close range, you'll kill in as fast as the last word, which is pretty sweet.
Damn.
Wait, what is that optimal time
It's
to kill?
0.6 with kill clip. But the
Okay.
idea, or more realistically, you'll be hitting like one head, 4 body, which is 0.8 seconds, which will beat pretty much every gun in the game. Yeah, so it's still pretty good if you can just hit one headshot close range and then all bodies. And then even if you hit all bodies, it's 1 second, which matches SMGs.
If you're 75% worse at shooting them, you're still hitting a extremely optimal time to
and
kill.
it's energy, so in case you get locked in like close quarters with something like a Dawn Blade or an Arc Strider or something, you have a little bit of better chance being that close to them. You're probably going to die, but at least you have a chance.
All right, next up. This is a gun. I don't know what this gun is, but it's on the list we put together, so one of you must want to talk about it. This gun is the Imminent Storm. What is this? Oh, no, this is me. This is me. All right. I know that's right. I don't have this gun, which is why I didn't recognize it, but I kind of want this gun. So this is the first rank glory reward you get. This is an SMG, and our good buddy Anklet has it, and he gave a little review. This is a interesting archetype. This is the 740 aggressive SMG archetype.
750.
750. Mini review from Anklet. It's good at hip firing, doesn't beat out anti-IP for power at range, but it's very good in the melee battles where you basically just need 3 or 4 shots for a kill. Better mag size than Adjudicator, and personally find it very smooth to aim. It's a nice balance between smooth hip fire control of a 900, but is a bit more reliable in extreme close quarters frenzy. All in all, 8 out of 10. Not busting the meta, but a good choice on certain maps and comp. Also, I think it looks cool. I think a lot of the new Crucible stuff looks cool, and I want it. I want this Redrix. Good Lord. Did you guys see that clip from Inspire?
Yeah.
Yes, it was pretty nasty. That was a Rumble game, I believe.
Yeah, it was Rumble.
Yes.
And what he did was pair it with Devour. So he perks Devour. It's instant kill. It's not even start your health regen. It's instant. So with that like Desperado perk going on 3 guys' health every time, it's just like that is pretty unstoppable. And it definitely looked like, I don't know, that clip sort of really demonstrated what I think a lot of people want to see is just like, that is how you go off, right? That is one person taking on an entire army and doing something really amazing. But it was a combination of awesome perks, right? It wasn't just, flat out body shots to everyone, 3 taps or whatever. It was just synergy of perks being used incredibly effectively.
Not to mention some great blink shotgun.
Yeah.
To boot, like, who would have thunk it? Blink shotgun.
Shotgun's back, baby.
Yeah, a little tip there is if you want to try blink shotgun, there's one thing to consider, and it's that Retro Futurist has a lot more handling than any other shotgun. And it's the one to try for that. A lot of them are pretty slow, in the 30s to 40s, and Retro Futurist goes to like 60. Tractor cannon as well. Very fast, high handling shotgun. So you're ready out of blink sooner. So when you're coming down, you can shoot them before you fully hit the ground. And blink shotgun kind of works.
All right. Let's keep right on rolling. Keen, I know this is one of yours. This is the Prolium FR3.
Yeah, so this is one of the new, I think just random drops, the world drops. It's a fusion rifle, and it's a fast charge one. But the interesting thing about it is it has snapshot sights and liquid coils. So it's a 540 in the API, but if liquid coils makes it slower, so let's say 580, I think it hits for 40 to the body. And so my favorite fusion from D1 was Long Far Gone, and that hit for 40 to the body too. So that combined with charge time and snapshot, you can slide charge people really well, which is, that's my bread and butter. That's what I want to do with a fusion. I want to be able to slide around a quarter and just instantly snap to someone and kill them. So I'm still on the lookout for this one. I know Anna sells it occasionally. I haven't been there when she has it during the time window, but once I get it, I'm definitely going to be giving it a run and seeing just how good it really is, because everything about it just looks really good to me.
Word. All right, and then finally in the legendary category, we've got all the Ikalos guns. Everybody got this hand cannon.
By the way, Keen, I have that fusion rifle too.
Jeez.
Why do you have everything? Jesus.
Get a life, dude.
I don't have any masterwork exotics, so
I guess I got you there.
On me like that.
Okay, yeah, that makes me feel a little bit better.
And I have a Huckleberry and the Catalyst, so sorry, everyone.
I mean, I got a Huckleberry from Zerg.
I hate both of you guys.
Yeah, should I hate you now or should I hate you later when we're talking about exotics? Let's save it for exotics. I just want to touch on these Ikalos guns real quick. So these are the ones that look like Sleeper Simulant. First off, they look super cool. I think they're pretty great. The hand cannon is interesting. I love it for PvE. I've had some real fun with it in PvP. I think people aren't expecting to have a hand cannon duel with one of those 180s. But this new recoil animation it's really something. I know Dan has been using, graphic designer Dan has been using, and I guess Gaming and Help Dan now has been using Nature of the Beast in the Crucible. And it, yeah, I love it. Like, finally these guns make sense now. Big fan of that. Additionally, we've got, of course, there's Sleeper Simulant, but we've got the SMG, the shotgun, and the sniper rifle. Does anyone have any of these other ones yet?
It's a lot of grinding before these start dropping. I think it's definitely some end game to get these guns and the armor. I don't know if anyone's acquired any. Not that I've seen.
Keen, are there any in particular that you're looking forward to?
I mean, they're all really good PvE weapons, so I'll probably want one of them at least for any time I do that. For PvP, like the hand cannon is the most interesting one just because it has threat detector on it. So, especially if you're going to play a lot of comp, threat detector procs when someone's nearby you. So it's sort of like a pseudo radar. If that's what you're worried about, you can just use a bunch of weapons with threat detector, and then when someone's close by, you'll know.
There you go.
That's interesting. Do you know what the range on threat detector is?
But there's a lot of stuff that I still need to test with private matches.
Oh, that too. Private matches are fun. 20-minute rumble. We're back. Okay, with no further ado, let's get into the meat of this episode, which is the Masterworks and exotic weapons. Bonesy teased it up top, and then I figured what this episode needed was a 20-minute diversion.
Everyone got real excited for that, but there's so much to talk about, and that's not a bad thing. But very excited about this. I was like sad because the first 2 days I didn't really get anything to drop, and I would see someone get a catalyst, and I'd be like, "Oh, that's so cool!" It's just like, so like, Keen, we totally understand really how you feel. You haven't got Huckleberry. But these are so appealing for a very special reason. Obviously, everyone wants the coolest armor and et cetera. But the exotic patch, which we haven't really touched on at all, I think makes this game so interesting. And all I really want from Destiny right now is to make this fun, make it crazy, and make plays happen where we all just go, "Oh shit!" And that is absolutely happening this week. So, and I love it. And a few the guns responsible are definitely stuff like Graviton Lance and Crimson and Huckleberry and Tractor Cannon. And there's a lot of crazy perks that can come from these upgrades.
So, Bones, I decided this week that I want to get a clip with every exotic and make a montage out of that.
That's quite the grind, but I think it'd be the coolest video I've ever seen.
You gotta have goals when you can't really hit the high enough ranks in ranked. You gotta have goals. So I'm gonna be the shark in the waters. Of quick play.
I tweeted out a goal of getting to legend solo, completely solo. So we'll see. I got 4 months. We'll see if I can make it.
Oh, you're gonna do it. Flanking for life. We got a lot to get through here. Let's just go down this list. We've organized these by kinetic energy and power, which is probably good because if we just did them in the order we liked, we'd probably just spend too long talking about Graviton and Huckleberry. Let's kick it off though with a pairing. Oldie but goodie coming back. We've got Sturm and Drang, and boy, do they mean something now. Who's got a take?
Hard to use.
I think it's one of the best Rumble loadouts that you can use. That's probably a hot take, but that's my hot take. It's the best for Rumble.
A little spicy.
Because, like, you're normally in pretty close quarters in any Rumble game, even though they reduce the number of combatants to 6. But if you can get that kill with Drang, it is very, very easy to get the 2-tap with Sturm. It has almost completely vertical recoil. And even if you miss the second headshot, you can, or even if you miss the first overcharged headshot, if you hit a body shot, you only need one more headshot and another body shot, and you'll kill them in the optimal when it's not active, which is 1 second. So that's still really, really fast, especially at hand cannon range. And it's easy to just, start chaining. You get the 2-tap, you turn around, get your health back, push a spun with Drang out. Maybe they're too far, you take Sturm back out, get 3 headshots, or just tap at them and peek shoot. A lot of the power of 110s is just from peek shooting because it does so much damage.
Yeah, truly the biggest downside of Warmind this week has been no time for Rumble. But I think you're probably right in saying that this exotic and its counterpart live for Rumble. I used it in quick play a little bit, and it was just like a little too much chaos, and I didn't really pull off the 2-tap much, but Rumble's a different story.
Yeah, it's very satisfying. I've done it a few times, and I've played, I don't know, probably 15 games, and I think I've not placed under third. I've won most of them. I think I've only not placed first 3 times. So it's a wild world out there now.
I'm curious because the chat is all about Sturm, but the necessary component of this is getting kills with Drang. What do you think about Drang as a sidearm?
I think it's good. You just have to know how to use sidearms. Like, sidearms exist in a space closer than SMGs. And with Drang, you have to get the kill with the gun. So you have to maneuver in such a way that you can get close enough to your target you haven't gotten any damage on you. And you need to be able to kill with the weapon itself and not be in melee range. So there's this dance that you play. And the easiest way to dance is just to push through cover, like hug walls, watch your radar, and then go from the air and drop down on someone. And you can get kills pretty reliably. Even if you had, let's say you get 3 or 4 shots from the air, you don't have to hit very many more shots once you hit the ground to finish them off. And then by the time you hit the ground, they're probably shooting you back. So it's just all about positioning. It's not like a god tier weapon by any means, but if you can work in that space it's supposed to, then you can pull off some good things with Sturm afterwards.
All right. Heard it here first. Probably not, but you definitely heard it here on our first episode after Warmind.
That's our fucking
and that's
motto.
Not nothing. All right, next up, Vigilance Wing. Still the same. No update. I did get the catalyst to drop. I didn't even see it drop, but I went to go check it and realized, I can be. Wait, which one is Blood for Blood? Which one do I got to do for Vigilance Wing? Get that full auto. You have to get 5 Blood for Blood medals.
Blood
what
for
is this?
Blood?
Ooh, I don't even know. Medals? What are these?
Blood for Blood. It's a thing. You got to get 250 kills in the Crucible with it.
Is it just named Blood for Blood, or does it say you need to get the medal?
I thought,
because I have the Jade Rabbit catalyst.
It's a PvP medal. Kill an enemy who just killed a teammate. There you go.
Oh, that makes sense with Vigilance Wing because it procs when someone dies. That's neat. Neato burrito.
Very cool.
Full auto's nice. Full auto is definitely one of those ease of use perks that I think are underrated. It might not make it kill any faster, but at least you don't have to constantly tap the trigger. You just have to track your target. I think that's a huge reason why Darkest Before is so much better than the other 540s. Just because all you have to do is track.
I do like Darkest Before a little bit more than anything else there.
It's just easier to use.
Also, for hip firing too.
I will. I know it's a good gun. I don't particularly like using Vigilance Wing in the Crucible. It's just nothing wrong with it.
Have you seen
not my preferred play
the
style?
new ornament?
I have it, and it is gorgeous.
Did you see it was sort of like a World of Warcraft looking thing?
It is. It does kind of look like that. It's a little gaudy for my taste, but it just looks cool.
Oh, Gaudy is my middle name. All right. It's not actually my middle name. All right. Well, if I ever finish this catalyst and remember this, I will give you guys an update on whether.
Yeah,
or
let
not
us know on episode 200.
Yep, right. I'll get there. It'll happen. All right. I don't have this gun. I want this gun. Certainly, this has been hyped to shit and back. Huckleberry.
I like it. I think it is good. There's this blah, blah, blah. We saw the perk before it came out. Maybe this perk is not what we thought. I still think it's good. Basically, it ramps up speed as you shoot, and then it refills a portion of the magazine with the kill. If you can really hold the trigger, you can track well enough, that last burst of speed up, really where it kicks in, is in a duel. And I was in, we're doing rumbles, and we're doing, I'm going up against a buddy with an SMG, and just seeing how, I finished faster. We didn't trade because of Huckleberry. I think it's cool. It feels really stable. It's a 750 to start, I think, which is that new archetype. And it sounds good, feels good, very smooth. It's one of my favorite feeling SMGs that I own now. So I'm all about Huckleberry.
Reloading any text mechanic.
I want it so bad, and everyone keeps telling me they have it and just rubbing it in my face. Yeah. Thanks, guys.
I mean, at least with we have faded engrams now, so like you'll
eventually,
get it.
Yeah.
Eventually, like you will get it. I mean, that's something, right?
I guess.
Yeah, you'll be fine. Keen will be fine. What's the exotic masterwork like?
So I don't have that finished, but based on our research here, Huckleberry gets Ambitious Assassin, which overflows the magazine based on kills beforehand. I can see that being pretty incredible in PvE. Just hold the trigger forever. It's really fun in PvE. I'm not sure how immediately better that makes it in Crucible, but it could. It certainly could, because having some extra bullets, if they get a little shifty, could allow you to really finish them with some high-powered, fast shots. So I'll report back sooner than episode 200.
There you go. I'm curious. I mean, having not gotten it yet, what would you compare Huckleberry as an SMG to of the guns that we have already? What's it like?
That's tough, because it's this new archetype. And well, it's a kinetic. So I do feel like, it's replacing the popular Antiope there, or maybe New City. I think New City is maybe a better response, similar to it, because Antiope is all about like massive range stat and kill clip, right? It's not about, it's just a good all around gun. There's a very specific reason it's good, where New City is just, here's where you go for the best base stats. It's feeling good. And I think that's where Huckleberry sits. It's just like, this is efficient in a lot of areas. So I'd compare it to New City, but
it's also really hard to calculate the time to kill on it because it speeds up. So
yeah, your time to kill is almost, totally up to whatever happens in the moment, and not like a measurable
I'm
thing.
sure if it increases, it probably caps out at 900. So as a 900, I know it's the strongest SMG when it's fully sped up. But even as a 750, you don't even need to hit headshots on it to have a really competitive time to kill. You can go for all body shots and just hit fire it and challenge pretty much any other SMG outside of Antiope.
Well, Body Shot is my middle name, so.
A lot of middle names today.
Yep. We had very prescient parents. I had no idea how they guessed. Let's keep right on rolling. Here's one that everyone seems to like. I personally still don't really like it all that much, but people are into it. Crimson.
I have this one masterworked, and it's nice.
Yeah.
I think the power of Crimson is in that health regen perk. It's not the fact that it's a 3 burst or it's like unique or it has a fast time to kill. It's the fact that the utility on it is kind of through the roof, because it does a lot of damage in 1 burst. It has the team shot potential of those 110s, where you just kind of pop out, get some damage, pop back in. But if you ever manage to kill someone, especially in team fight scenarios, overall team health is really important. So if all of a sudden you're in a team fight, you kill someone, you get all that health back, you can immediately push. And if you're running like a super aggressive loadout with like an SMG or a sidearm, and you can push right after getting that health regen from Crimson, like it's easy to collapse on teams. As far as like 1v1s go, it's pretty underwhelming, even with the range masterwork. But in any non-rumble, I guess, it's real good.
I was won over by this gun, because Keen, you told me that you masterworked it, and I got it to drop as my first catalyst, and I didn't want it, but I was like, I finally got a catalyst. And I know Drewski loves this gun more than anything, so I was like, fine, let's do it. And I put it on in quick play, and I got like a silly amount of kills with like 1 burst, like double downs with 1 burst. So, okay, that's cool. And then once I started getting the hang of it, the health regen and knowing like there are 2 guys shooting at me, but if I just lean against this wall and I kill this guy first, the second one will follow him and I'll have my health back. And it really, really allows you to stay in the game. And that's really crucial if you are a warlock like me going against this new hive helmet that gives health regen on dodges.
The helmet is so good.
You got to have your health up as much as you can.
It's so good. Yeah. I mean, we're gonna have an exotic armor episode down the road, and we'll talk about the other exotic armors. But it's just this hunter helmet is so good. Carry on. Sorry.
Yeah, it won me over. I wasn't expecting to like it so much, and Crimson has been one of my favorite guns in Crucible in the last 2 days. So it's got its place for sure.
All right. Up next, surprising. Keen, I think you mentioned it earlier.
Yeah, so I've been using this one all day because I got the catalyst to drop, and you're supposed to get 250 defeats with it in the Crucible, which means you can't get assists. So I've been grinding. I think I'm at like 180 now. And I'm not a huge scout fan. I've never been a huge scout fan, or really pulse rifles. I like close range stuff. But Jade Rabbit has surprised me because the time to kill on the 150 archetype is actually really good. It's like 1.2 optimal, which is what your 150 hand cannons are. So I can reliably challenge like Dire Promise with this gun. And the unique thing about Jade Rabbit is that intrinsic perk where if you deal body shot damage, your next headshot does bonus damage. So most 150s require 4 headshots, or I think it's 3 head, 1 body now because they buffed the damage on it. But with Jade Rabbit, you can go head or body, head. So it hits for 40 to the body and then 61 to the head. That'll kill everyone through all resilience. So 2 head, 2 body is really easy to use. And I barely ever reload it because you get bonus ammo after dealing a headshot once you do a body shot. And it already reloads really quickly. And it's been, like I said earlier, it's been really easy to flank with it on these longer maps because it's so quick to kill someone. I don't normally recommend scouts, but I would highly recommend Jade Rabbit if you want to scout. Like I enjoy using it, and yeah, it's awesome.
That's definitely.
And I know the masterwork on it maxes the stability, so it already has Zen moment. But with max stability, it's real easy to hit follow up shots. So I'm really excited to actually masterwork this one and use it on those longer range maps like Fortress or Vostok or things like that.
Well, before we move on to energy, does anyone have a Suros regime?
No.
I do.
I mean, Swain is nothing if not a man with particular tastes. You were a fan of Suros in Destiny 1. You've got your Suros in D2. What do you think?
I'm going to be honest and say that most of the reason I'm being as quiet as I am this week is because of my dog. But also, I haven't played a ton of PvP with the things I've gotten. I've been grinding out the PvE stuff so I can just have it done and then go into PvP. So I have used Suros in PvE so far, and it's a little underwhelming, to be honest. But I haven't played too much between the 2 perks. I always went with like the slowdown and kind of treated it as like a long range scout. And I'd like to see how that functions in the Crucible a little bit. So I'm gonna give it a try. I obviously have to give it a try if I'm going to be getting all these clips.
Okay, well, we'll wait for an update on that one. I can say I definitely went up against it a few times with people using the spinning up perk, and it works. Yeah, they killed me dead. So it is a functional weapon in PvP. Don't know much more than that at this point. All right, let's get to the energy slot, and let's just cut right to the chase. Graviton Lance. And let me start by saying this is a very good gun. This is like the new meta. It is extremely solid. Personally, I just really like the way this gun feels. I typically don't like pulses, although this one is barely a pulse. This is pulse and name only. Effectively, it's a scout rifle that can 3-tap and is really good. It's just, I don't know what to say. It's really good. It feels incredible. It's just rewarding game after game. What I've found Graviton to really excel at is it is a double machine. You get that first kill with just, you stick to your target. You don't get distracted. You get the first kill. And that collateral damage from the guy who is standing next to him means that you kind of just need the one shot or the two shots to follow up. It is just extremely effective. And playing comp today, we definitely had scenarios where there were 3 or 4 of us running Graviton against another team with 4 people running Graviton. It is that gun in the Warmind expansion, and I am very okay with that.
Birds is here for it.
I love it.
I definitely think it's cool. I love the explosions and stuff. I don't find it super smooth to use.
Really?
I don't. And it's just me. I'm not saying it's, don't use it, but I just mean like I'm bad with it, I guess.
So, I did notice something about Graviton. If you remember back to the original Mida days, there was that that old saying of make them wear the hat, right? You have that little carrot shaped crosshair reticle, and you want to put it not on their head, but directly above their head, so they're wearing the hat because it's got so much aim assist. It'll essentially pull it down to get the shot, and makes it more likely to hit crits. I have found the opposite to be true with Graviton, that if you're kind of aiming right at the head, right at the very top of their head, you will miss a surprising number of shots. You kind of want to aim for chin, aim for neck, especially if this is your follow-up shot. Don't let it kick too high up, or you will miss shots that maybe with another gun you would have made. I think as soon as I realized that, and this was in PvE, but I've been shooting this Legionary across the map for like the entire clip and missing all of my shots, and like, okay, slow down. What is going on here? Right. Got to pull it down a little bit. It's just the collateral damage is so much. And when you get killed by it and your body just goes flying, you're just tossed off the map. That's just, I mean, it's just great. It's just great. It's just great. I like it. Maybe not the best rumble gun, but I don't know. Maybe it is the best rumble gun. I don't know.
It's okay.
All right. Nice lukewarm take right there.
Well, hot take incoming, because next up is Fighting Lion. And I'm not seeing it. I'm not using it too well. But Keen, yeah, you know it's good. So explain to us why. Because I'm not figuring it out.
They buffed the explosion range damage on it. So it does a lot of damage. It does like 100 damage, I want to say, in the explosion range. So it takes away half your health if you get, anywhere close to it. It's really good when you can bank shots around corners, especially when you have radar on, and just instantly deal half someone's health, because they're going to be scared. They're either going to immediately throw a rift down so you have time to push them, or they're going to back out and then you gain ground. So that kind of like flush someone out is really good for teams that are like stacking. But the reason why people should use it is because of what the masterwork is that was data mined. It says here that it's called Chimera. Well, first of all, it gives you 30 reload speed. So, it reloads really, really fast. But the perk is called Chimera, and it says after this weapon fires, equipped kinetic and power weapons gain a brief period of increased handling and, most importantly, precision damage. So...
Yep. So, Keen, let's say I hit somebody for 100. What do I do next?
You swap to your 110 hand cannon and you pop them once in the head, and they probably die if the precision damage is like 15 or 20%. But we don't know. I haven't seen the masterwork in action yet. But if you pair it with a hand cannon, one that's good at dueling, like a 150 or 140, then you can just go for 2 quick bodies and just knock pretty much anyone out. And in a duel, your hand cannon's real good in duels. So you have that mid-range power. And if you ever manage to hit a direct hit with Fighting Lion, I believe it does something in the area of 140 damage. So you can follow up melee, kill pretty much anyone.
Yeah.
Wow.
Folks know I am a fan of the single shot grenade launchers just for the way they play, for the bounce. I love the stun effect. It's very effective. But the play style for that, because you're not going to hit all of your shots, is to get the shot off and then immediately switch to your other weapon to clean it up. And so I run, specifically a hand cannon that I can switch to there. that's got high handling in most game modes. To be able to switch to any other kinetic weapon and get that handling for free is something. And hey, it's after this weapon fires. It's not after you land a hit with it. You could just shoot the wall.
Oh, I didn't even think about
and
that.
then switch to your kinetic weapon very fast and with bonus precision damage.
This all sounds gross. Go use fighting
Doesn't
line.
it?
There's a big like skill curve on it. There's a learning curve on it. I highly suggest you check out former guest host Calcium Cakes to see how Cammy uses it in the Crucible because he is a fighting line master for sure.
As with all these guns, the most important thing, these single shot launchers, is you have to know when to hold R2, when to let go of it. I mean, you want to hold R2. The trick is knowing when to let go of it and knowing that when you're trying to do that in a range that's too close and you need to ADS in order to get that faster response time when you let go. Practice holding and letting go. That's basically it.
Birds, I think you're basically like, I'm calling you out. I think you're obligated to pick up the Fighting Lion, become its champion, and start using it. Because if you're going to be the guy to talk about Orwing's Maul or whatever, I got to assume that Fighting Lion can fit well in your hands. So
I will.
Let's see some clips.
I will learn this gun, but I have to say the single shot with the power version sure is nice. The stun sure is annoying to get hit with, and I know that it's having that effect on you, and I continue to do it anyways. That's really what makes me love it. But there was one round we went into today where 3 of the people had single shot grenade launchers, and another person had a Fighting Lion. And it was just a lot of grenades flying.
There's a guy on PC Rumble that almost exclusively uses like Aura Wings or Truth Teller, and I run into him occasionally. It is the most irritating thing. And he runs Peacekeepers and Antiope. So like he'll tag you and then immediately spray you down. It is the most irritating thing to go against.
It's just so effective. I mean, we're not talking about Fighting Lion anymore, but just getting 7 ammo on pickup, or it's 8 now. It's 8. It's insane. It's insane. All right. Okay. Let's not spend the whole episode talking about Fighting Lion. Let's move on to Skyburners. It's an interesting one.
I mean, if you want to play in the air, Skyburners is where it's at, and you want to hit fire it because it's basically a mini grenade launcher now with the tracking on the projectiles. It's really cool. Like, it's a really unique play style. Like, if you're looking for a different way to play the game, and especially if you're like on a Dawnblade or a Hunter, and you just really like getting in the air, like Skyburners is a cool weapon. And it has the bonus of being longer range in case you need to ADS it. So it's good at laning. It's just the fact that it has these dual modes makes it so flexible for however you want to play or whatever the situation happens to be.
Up next, we got Hard Light. Is this the double time to kill or half time to kill trick shot machine?
It is.
It would be. It is?
Yeah. It's
okay. Right. I've not tried this one. I'm kicking myself. I didn't pull this.
You got to practice with it. But if you can get down, it's not a good close range weapon, and it's not really a good mid range weapon. Like, it's okay. But if you get in like basically hand cannon range or a little bit closer, if you can learn how to shoot someone in front of someone and bounce it off the ground up into them, it melts people really, really quickly. It's kind of got the same range as Fighting Lion. They have similar like good spots you want to use it in. So if you're trying to go for like really long range ricochet kills, it's probably not going to happen. It's good for like memeing and clips, but it's not practical.
Clips, you say?
But definitely in that close mid range, like that, probably like 17 to probably 25-ish meters. The big pie slice on your radar. That's where you want to use it. And I've melted a couple people trying to rush me with things, and it surprised me. I kill them, like, oh, that was it? Like, they're dead now?
I've not seen the clip I want to see yet with Hard Light, which is which is getting closed in on by a shotgunner who is staying on the ground. And yeah, you're backpedaling, but you're not shooting at him. You're just shooting the ground in front of him. And it works. I guess that would be what would happen in my dream version of this clip. Can somebody just make a bunch of hard light clips? Just do your trick shots, make your montage, get your, well, you deserve moment of the week. You'd probably get honorable mention number 1. I think you should have gotten moment of the week, but yeah, get around to it.
I've been there before.
I'll try to get a couple just for you.
Thank you. Up next, hey, this was my very first exotic masterwork. We are into the power section. Let's talk about tractor cannon. Tractor cannon is still fun.
It is.
I think it's
still
cool.
fun.
I think it's meaty.
Yep.
This will probably be the easiest to get clips with. Because you pushing things off of things is always fun. And then also suppressing people.
Yeah,
is
no
also fun.
shit. I will say, as a matter of course, the masterwork. So the masterwork gives you 7 in the mag. In PvE is fantastic, although it's probably most useful when you're trying to get the masterwork in the first place, and you just need to use it and reload it a lot. I like it. I'm figuring it out in PvP. I think one thing that's been an important exercise for me is really learning the effective range of it, because it's longer than you think to get the effect. It is about as close as you'd think to get the damage that you're hoping for with it. Yeah, I don't have a judgment on it yet, just that it was a pleasant surprise to get it as a masterwork, and I'm going to figure it out.
It's real good at dealing with arc striders and strikers. Like, really good.
Yes.
I was kind of hoping it would flow more in the competitive game modes, but it's kind of tough to end up in that spot. I mean, there's a chance, but you know, the fight for power is a very important part of survival, and you know, supers aren't up as frequently as in quick play, so the amount of the stuff that has to go on for you to have power and shut someone down, for that to be the, you know, game deciding moment is pretty rare. But in quick play, definitely. In Iron Banner 6v6, definitely. And if you're into mayhem, I guess it's just going to be mayhem is just going to be tractor cannon. It's going to be the inverse of mayhem because everyone will be suppressed.
Everyone just stay on the ground and play it kosher, please. Next up, we got Prospector, which is fun just because we now have every archetype or every hero fantasy of grenade launchers. We've got our satchel charges and like maybe a stun gun now also, or a flamethrower. I don't know. Who's got to take on Prospector?
It's the one that I'm looking forward to trying the most. Simply because sticking grenades to people and have them be like tiny little solar grenades sounds fun.
Yeah, I loaded up a private match before we started, and it's interesting because they do stick now. So the problem with Prospector before was like they just bounce everywhere, and you're trying to hold down the trigger, and they're just full auto, just spraying grenades everywhere. But now that they stick, and they have this perk where they do burn damage, so it's like a flare, and the radius on them is pretty large. So if you can hit close to someone, that burn damage is going to deal some bonus. And then you also have 8 every time you pick up a power ammo brick from the wall. So it's actually really good, and I've been hearing a lot of really good things. Like people keep telling me to try it out in actual games. So I'll be able to report back later to you guys and update you on just how good it is. Because I love grenade launchers. I think they're cool. It's definitely a neat new type of weapon.
I'm going to give this one a fair shot. I wish I had gotten a chance to play it. I want to play this one on Midtown. Something about Midtown seems like it lends itself to, I'm just going to leave a pair of grenades on the wall next to this corner that you're coming around. Just, yeah, I'm here. Look, it's me on the radar. Let's come over here. Come on, let's go around the corner. Do that. This is my dream.
And the Masterwork apparently gives it 40 blast radius, which is a lot. So
that's a lot. That's probably too much.
It's probably just enough to kill everyone.
All right. Next up, we got Wardcliff Coil. I have not tried this one. I will say that we were loading into a match today and we saw someone running Wardcliff Coil. And I think we all said, Wardcliff Coil, really? And then this was on Shores of Time. He had the Wardcliff in dark, and I was like way back by the boats. And one of those little things went and tracked me all the way down, and I felt like one shot at me. I don't think I was getting shot from anywhere else. I didn't care for it. Didn't like that at all.
And the Masterwork makes it track better. So
good. Oh, great. Perfect. That's great.
The best part about rocket launchers isn't when you pull the brick from the wall. It's when you kill someone with power and then pick up the brick, because you get the same number of bullets. You get one. So to me, and I said this a few times outside, but you always want someone on your team to have rockets, because someone is going to drop a brick at some point. And every other weapon type is bad when you pick up the brick. Like you get one, maybe two shots, and it's like, oh, cool, I have one fusion shot. I hope I don't miss. But when you have one Wardcliff shot, you're like, I hope someone is in front of me, and I'm going to sweep across the entire playfield and probably kill everyone in front of me. And the fact that like everything tracks better, it's a monster. If you want like a power that does, it's really easy to use. It's really good at shutting down supers, and it's really good. If you're the guy on the team that wants support and doesn't normally pick up power, like Wardcliffs is the way to go.
Okay, next up, we've got one. This is a PS4 exclusive. I don't know if anyone's been grinding it out on PS4 for this one, but let's talk about Borealis. Now, this is the new final round that's going to break everything, where people are shooting people in the foot with their sniper rifle and getting kills, right?
I guess.
Yeah, super OP.
Did that happen?
I haven't seen anything on Twitter. I'm waiting for clips,
I think
man.
I wanted to bring this one up just because I think the hype was overblown on it. Everyone's like, "Oh, final round is back," and there's just so many hoops to jump through, not loops. And why would you use Borealis when you can use any of the other weapons we've talked about so far?
After everything we've just listed, yeah.
I could maybe see that argument for Wardcliff. I feel like there's just a lot of great kinetic and energy choices that it seems tough to use your exotic slot on a power weapon, but I guess it depends. All right, last one in the list. This one kind of caught us by surprise. This is World Line Zero, the new exotic sword, and
this is cool.
This is the thing.
It's a real good thing. I played against someone with it, and I didn't even think about how good it was, that the fact that the Tesseract teleports you, but it's really easy to kill someone with this weapon. Like, if you thought you were annoyed with Acreus or the Colony, wait till you get world-lined all game long.
Bones. Guess what? I saw someone on Twitter the other day just like call it garbage and say they just threw it in the vault. And it reminded me of when you said Doctrine was bad.
Which I don't do anymore.
Yeah. Someone else did it. It's not just you, buddy. Someone else.
I don't know if the teleport itself is invulnerable, but it happens so quickly that it feels like the player is invulnerable. It's really hard to track. Yeah. The weapon itself tracks you. It's just, it's so good. Like, I used it I just picked it up and I picked up one brick and I just ran straight at someone. And then all of a sudden I was like that anime meme where I end up behind them. Nothing personal, kid. And they're just dead. And it was just so satisfying to get that kill. You gotta use it. It's so cool.
I mean, this one addresses, I think, one of the harder parts of using a sword, which is just closing from close range to very close, going to chop you with a sword range. The masterwork on this one, Another Dimension, reduces the activation time of Tesseract. And that's, I don't have this one yet. Like, what is that blink like?
It's a good, I think it's more than a slide distance. It's pretty far. And you basically turn into this arc dust and then reapparate, spinning like Dark Drinker. So, and it tracks your Crucible combatants. And I want to say it's probably a 2-second activation time where you have to sprint to activate, and then your character glows, and then you hit I want to say R2, and it does a little Dark Drinker animation with the teleport. So anything to reduce that time, if it's 1 second, oh man, you could just wait at a corner, see someone coming, and then instantly sprint around the corner and kill them. Oh, getting chills just thinking about it.
I can see this one showing up on various ban lists in the upcoming competitive rule sets. Because, hey, we've got private matches now. Sweats are a thing. Just regular old private matches are a thing. We had a nice 20-minute rumble to end the night the other night. And tournaments are a thing. This is an exciting time, and we will see how all of these guns that are so obscenely good shake out, and what becomes a cheesy, overpowered weapon. We'll see, right? We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
Wow. There's still so much more to talk about in Warmind, even in the PvP side that we've not touched on, but we've got to call this thing at some point. Any closing thoughts? I will start. The Hunter exotic helmet is ridiculous. I don't know. Why would you use anything else? It is so good. Just your regen on demand, and it is your shield and health regen together. And it just kicks you off. It is, you win 1v1s. You have all your health back when you guys both dip back into cover halfway through. It's insane. It's insane. It's so good.
My final words are just go for the fun. Try everything. Do not get caught up in what seems like the best just yet. This thing changes constantly. Meta is evolving. Everyone's finding something new. 6 months into the game when nothing's been changed this drastically. So with all of this stuff going on, there's so much stuff we haven't figured out. Just keep going for what seems interesting. Just like I did when I got this catalyst and I didn't want to use Crimson, and I jump in, and 3 games later, I'm like, this is awesome. So just keep trying everything. Don't get too caught up on your glory ranking just yet. Let it settle, and you'll have a perfectly fine time grinding some games out.
I will say that I want to know what everybody thinks each clip should be like for my montage. Send them to me on Twitter.
One montage, one clip, every exotic.
Every exotic.
Yeah.
And
they're going to be doing like their exotic-y thing. You're not just going to like get a headshot with Darcy.
Yeah, no, I want them to be like, I want it to be very specific and like
demonstrate their potential.
Yeah. My Borealis clip will be like that. The Fairly Godparents meme. It's like, this is where I would put my Borealis.
I will just reiterate Bones and just say, try everything. You'd be very surprised what you end up liking. Even if you don't think it's good, you might just like it. It doesn't have to be good if you're effective with it. I think my final thought will be, if you find me in Rumble, I'm going to destroy you. You won't have a chance. You can try to come off spawn, but I'll probably be there shooting you as soon as your overshield leaves. And if you make a stupid play, I will definitely either yawn or disagree immediately. And if that gets you tilted, that's on you, man. It's a game, and I love doing it. So deal with it.
All right. That's a note to end on right there.
Play to win.
That's the truth.
I do have one short announcement I would like to make, if you guys wouldn't mind.
We are now in the outro section of the show, crucibleradio.com, yada, yada. Keen, if people want to find you on the internet, where might they find you?
Well, they can find me on Twitter at Keen Koala. They can find me on Twitch, but I don't stream very much anymore because my PC is a potato, but twitch.tv/Keen Koala. And as always, you can find me at cruciblebootcamp.com. But
Keen, cruciblebootcamp.com, I thought you were finished with the season. You had
I did finish with season 1, but season 2 is here, baby. Private matches are back. Ooh. I get to get the clips.
I will never forgive Fox for canceling Crucible Bootcamp, but NBC has picked him up.
Thank you, Bungie, for bringing back private matches, because, I'm going to start producing new episodes. So send me your clips, please, Keen at cruciblebootcamp.com. Send them to me. Please, I need to review your gameplay and help you get better. You want to get Redrixes? Send your clips to me. I'll give you the skills you need to get Redrixes.
Oh, man, you can do that Madden thing and put the map up and draw on it.
I am, but it's going to be nice and concise. So if you watched Crucible Bootcamp before, you'd know that the episodes are really long. They're an hour and a half. But I am consolidating everything to half-hour episodes. So if you're on your lunch break, you can watch it.
Will there be production values?
There will. And I've talked to you a little bit about this in private, but I've compared it to an episode of Crucible Sesame Street.
There's just a big letter S that shows up.
Or
on
just
the
a big
screen,
L,
or
and I'll have
shoot
some
them.
hands that you need to hold it with. Nah, that's the only teaser that I'll give you. Is it's a lot like Sesame Street, so it's very educational. I'll be using different language. I'll be using we and us a lot more than you. Make it more inclusive. Yeah. And then there's some surprises that should be fun. My wife might even get involved.
Exciting.
Wow.
So this is cruciblebootcamp.com. And hey, you can go back and watch Destiny 1, Season 1 episodes of Crucible Bootcamp, and you can learn everything you need to know to not be stumbling around out there. But for this new season, we're very excited. Do we have a date?
When it's done, it'll be before the end of the month for sure. But it could be next week or it could be the week after. It really depends on how quickly I get the editing done that I need to get done. But it's about halfway done right now. It's a lot extra work, so there'll be fewer, but they'll be higher quality than they were before. Yeah.
Worth your while, no matter what.
The letter W is for worth your while.
Today, the letter of the day is L. This one's for you.
Okay, I think that takes us through. Welcome to Warmind, everyone. Welcome to D2. And I've played so much Destiny in the past couple of days. I just want to go play more Destiny right now. I'm gonna go save my marriage first.
Yeah, I'm gonna go eat food.
I managed to take a shower today. So
Something I gotta do.
no progress.
Just
I'm
not
gonna save my sleep schedule and hopefully sleep today so I can play tomorrow.
Yay! All right.
Yay.
Bye.
See you guys.
Bye. Music this week coming to you from the Concrete, FTC out of Clifton, New Jersey. Go check them out. That's fromtheconcrete.bandcamp.com. And if, hey, you are a musician and you would like to hear your music on Crucible Radio, it's possible. You can make it happen. It starts when you send an email to crucibleradio@gmail.com. Oh, I mean, you do whatever you want.
I can do whatever I want. You're right. I'm a grown ass man. I'm an adult.
Yeah.
I don't need you to hold my hand when I cross the street. If I want to drop my ice cream on the ground and cry about it, I will. I don't want to. I love ice cream. All right, let me compose myself and then I'll do it again. Just for you, Birdsy.
Hello everyone, Swain here. You know that Crucible Radio is your source for all things Destiny PvP, and I know you want more than just this video, so make sure to head on over to crucibleradio.com to find all of our past episodes, detailed Crucible maps, t-shirts, and much, much more.